I want to take like 5 minutes to talk about United. Like, genuinely, where do United go from here? No lengthy rant, just genuine question. Where do you think United go from here? You want
It's
to go,
going to
Avinash?
be what you call. I am rewatching as a Game of Thrones, so it's like winter is coming. It's going to be a long winter for United.
I don't even know why you're doing that, despite knowing it ends very bad. You're a
But anyway.
brave man.
Yeah, I think for as Manu, it's things have been spoken like over and over again, but it doesn't look great because it's a massive reset. And when I say massive reset, I feel massive reset in terms of squad, massive reset in terms of players buying in, and massive reset. I think most importantly in terms of fan base, which I think like this season the fan base has been like slightly better compared to the last season because they have been hammered down so much over this season.
Is this what needed to happen for
Yeah,
Manchester United fans to get a reality check? That you need to
exactly.
finish
But
just above the relegation?
exactly.
But like with Amorim in charge, like he's not going anywhere, right? Like again, you can't help it. Managers bring players that they think will fit into their system, right?
Yeah,
And
fair.
we've already seen Matheus Cunha decide to jump from 16th place in the league to 15th place in the league. Like a big upgrade for him it was. But
What's
no,
wrong with that guy, man? Like, anyway,
I don't know. Maybe he just didn't get enough offers, or they just threw enough wages at him for him to say yes.
200 or something. Yeah.
But like genuinely, right? Like what point do you say this is genuinely not working out with Amarim and it has to end?
So the crazy part for me is they are doing exactly what they did like last year with ETH. I think the board is still. I don't know if they are completely on like Amorim. Have they already told like Amorim is going to stay? Is
Yeah.
that like come out?
More or less. More or less.
Okay, then I think I'm maybe like mixing Tottenham with like Manu, but yeah, we can talk about Tottenham later. For me, I think Manu, it's a players, dude. Like you see that squad, right? It feels like they need 8 to 9 players that they need to bring in to play Amarim ball.
So do they need to bring in players more or do they need to sell players more? Like what is
I think
more
both.
important for them? Like because for me in my head, I don't think the players there even realize what it means to play for United. I don't think they understand the weight of the badge, right? And I don't think they genuinely half of them don't care, dude. Like there's so many players there who just don't care about playing for them. It just makes no sense. Right, and now there is talk about Saudi buying Fernandes for 100
Bruno,
million.
yeah.
Yeah. So that can offset some of the money that they lose from the Champions League, but they also means that the one quality player that they have, they're losing.
The only quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
one. Yeah.
they need to buy players to win. They need to sell players to make sure that they are financially not getting ruined. That's basically how it is. So they cannot win the one with, at least under Amorim, they're not going to win much with the existing set of squad. Although I believe they are massively underperforming for the squad they have, especially with Sancho and Rashford going back after their loan spells at Chelsea and Aston Villa respectively. Yeah, so what you said is right? So Casemiro was almost at the tail end of his career. They spent 50 to 60 million dollars on him and they
And
gave
300,
him
some 300K.
massive wages. Yes.
350K.
What is see the reason behind a player coming to you and playing to you should be because I want to play for that team, not because this is going to be my nice retirement gig.
Yeah.
It should never be that. Like
Yeah.
players taking pay cuts, players taking like I don't care about the salary. I'm gonna be playing for this team. I want to play for this team. That's what you would want. People should put the badge or the wearing that kit ahead of okay, well, how much money am I gonna make?
Especially not at United. Like, no disrespect to some of the smaller clubs, but you would
Sure.
expect to see players do that with smaller clubs because they get one final paycheck. They're happy.
Exactly.
But with a club
Yeah.
like United, when you see players coming there because you're giving them a paycheck, you've
It's a
lost the
very
battle
big red
already in
flag.
my head. Yeah.
Yep, very
Yeah.
big red flag. And they were I don't think they have any sporting structure there, like finding out
Yeah.
what player suit. Number one, it's one thing to not have an identity specific to your club. Not all teams have an identity associated with the club. It's mostly coming from the managers, right?
Yeah.
So even if you talk about Alex Ferguson or Alex Ferguson, it's not like he had like okay one way of playing. No, so there's a good way of playing football. He made sure that happened, and he changed his tactic very flexibly. Things happened for them. But now is an era of like, okay, managers dictating that this is my style. Like you take any manager at this point, whoever want to be successful, they want to come out and say that, hey, this is my style. This is how I want to play. Now you're getting lost into this weird set of the same loopholes. Okay, this manager wants us this way of playing. We need to cater to his 100% needs, ignoring whether this is a good player or not. There are always star players who will fit into many systems. That I feel like they never even care. there are genuine gems who can just basically play in any position, whatever they want. Like even Bruno, it's like Bruno can play in under any manager, any decent manager who knows how to handle a midfield. Bruno can play there. But that's not what's happening here, right? Bruno is probably the only one who's doing a little bit okay, even under this horrible performance, whatever we have been seeing. But I don't see an end in sight until they change this and go back to the basics more than like, okay, this is how we want to play, this is what we want to play. No, screw all this stuff. Like just focus on winning. What's going to give you some wins and make sure that you're stable? At least know that this is what you want to do.
I actually,
think that-
sorry. Finish. I have a.
The thing
I have
that
a
I
thought.
have is like the club like Man U, right? I don't know if they are so ready to go through that and tell themselves, hey, we need 2 to 3 seasons. You have finished 16th.
Yep.
The ideal way for you to like
Hey,
get back
15th.
is. Okay, 15. Sorry, my bad. I apologize, Man U fans. The ideal way is from 15 you go to top 10. From top 10 you go to top 7. From there you compete to top 4. This is a 2 to 3 season journey.
Yes.
Which I don't think so. United, the way that they are and the way that they see themselves, them, their fans, their pundits, their like alumni, whoever it is, they want immediate success. Hey, so Amorim, here is one transfer window, here is 200 or 250, 300 million. Get us to top 4. Because we are Manchester United. Fuck you, dude. Like, you need to understand the build. There is so much of build that, like, so what do you say in so technical terms, you say, right? Tech debt. There's so much of like player debt. There's so much of shit
Deadwood.
soccer debt that the so club has amassed in like the past 4 to 5 years, right? That is why I feel this like pain is here to stay. Because they will make short-term decisions. I see like Matthew Cunha as like another short-term decision.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
why
Yes.
would you buy someone for 62 million just because like he had like one season of like greatness or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
So I
As a-
actually think
as a Liverpool fan, it's awesome, but but as a neutral, not so much.
No,
But
but
I actually wanna
at some
build on
point you need to
this.
feel bad. Yeah, I feel
No,
bad.
no.
I genuinely feel bad. Yeah.
No, but I actually like what you said. The one thing that I want to add to what you said, right, is get grounded on where you are and use this as an excuse to build, to push, promote your academy up. Like this is the perfect time for you to have like another Ferguson's fledglings, a Busby Babes type of situation where you're just not overspending, you're committing to 4 or 5 years where you're like, boss, this is not going to work. We have to move up the ladder, and the only way
Yeah.
I can do that is by getting my younger players in. Because they know what it is to play for the badge. Secondly, they will be appreciative of the chances that they are getting. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, where are they going? Right? And the club can then decide, okay, I'll mix 1 or 2 good players with them, like some senior players to guide them. I think that's the way up for them.
100%.
Stop buying 100 times. Just sell all this crap like this Onana and this Matthews delete, Rashford. Like Rashford also I'll keep because he's local to Manchester, right? I would keep Xerxes, I would get rid of Hoyland, I would get rid of Garnacho. Like all these useless buggers around, remove them. Get your academy in. Give them the time to play. Come 14th, come 13th, it's fine. But at least identify
Yeah.
yourself as local Manchester and then build from that. I think
But
that
yeah,
would be the way forward.
the same point there, bro. I don't think that club and that fan base and that like
He's
ownership
able to get to that point, yeah.
can get grounded. Like sadly, I don't even think this like 15th place finish will like ground them. They'll be like, we finished 15th place, but we still went to European final, guys. Look at us, we are Man U. Fuck you, dude. Like anyway.
This is the
yeah.
saddest thing, right? Like now, I think this is the first time that this is happening, but they now have to pay Adidas 10 million for every year that they don't play Champions League football. Like
really?
What?
Yeah. It's part of their contract. If they miss out on Champions League football, they pay $10 million, 10 million pounds to Adidas every year.
Oh,
I think this
damn
is
it,
the
bro.
first time. It is the first time that a sponsor is getting money for sponsoring you. In this
Man U is a gift that keeps giving.
What
There's
is this,
nothing.
man?
But yeah.
Yeah, just
Any final thoughts on Man U before we move on?
yeah, I like I said, dude, you need to sell. Forget buying. You need to sell. Give opportunities to your youth team. Get them to see the value of playing for that club, and then 1 or 2 players every window slowly gets you back to where you need to be.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 transfer windows to
Whatever, right? Yeah.
move our rate. Yeah.
You might get the next. You might get the next Paul Scholes. You might get the next David Beckham from your academy. But unless they're given the chance, difficult. You need more than
Yeah.
one Kobe Mainu to come up, dude. That's all it is.
As a PL neutral, I'd rather see them up there and giving
Yeah.
us some good games. But
Yeah, I do believe it's important for the league that they're up and challenging.
I don't think, but like,